Hi there, this is Rob from Reason101.net, and I'm here to show you another type of modular audio processing unit. This is called the ACS, or the Audioplay Control System. And the basic way it works is you have your main sound source in this top combinator here. So right now I have a Thor playing, and I'll just let you listen to it here. Turn on a little portamento. Okay, so you have your sound source playing. You can put in any sound source you like here. If you flip it to the back, the only thing I'm going to say is you want to keep these CVs connected when you play with this system, because this matrix here controls your ARP, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and then this sequencer here controls your main sequence, which is what you hear up here. Once you play with the system and once you add your own sound in here, you're going to follow the arrows and you're going to move through this panorama system, which is a basic panner. You have a master pan here, which you can turn up. Just put it on full so I can show you. Then you can select different waveforms that are going to play your sound left and right. So that's the way the panning works. You can have the low verb pan decay, you can have a high verb pan decay, and these panners basically affect the sound after they're processed through the Dr. Destruction unit, which is further on down, and I'll show you that in a second. And then this rotary will basically pan the device after it's gone through the delays, which I'm also going to show you later on. And then this is a global pan rate, so you can affect the rate with it. You can go faster, or you can go a little slower. So it affects how long it takes your panning to take effect. If you want to turn the pans off, you just keep all the rotaries down. Then after it goes through that unit, then you're going to come down to a filter where you can filter your sound using any of Thor's filters here by adjusting the mod wheel. And all this is fully automatable, which if you look on the sequencer over here, you can see that I'm already automating it as we speak. So you've got tracks for everything. All the different combinators are set up as their own tracks, so you can go ahead and automate away. So that's the way that works. You also have, when you're in the different filter here, you have an envelope. You can invert your envelope. You can adjust your frequency. You can turn on the delay. You can sync the delay to your song tempo. You can adjust your resonance. And you can adjust your drive. You can also turn on the chorus too if you want. And then if you want to bypass the filter, you just turn it down, turn the mod wheel down. Then from there, you're going into the ARPinator unit, which the ARPinator, basically to enable it, you just turn it on here. And you see how that affects your sound? It automatically applies an ARP to it. You can control the gate length. You can control the rate. You can sync the rate to your song tempo. You can change the mode. You can go from 2 octaves to 3 octave range for your ARP. You can shift your octave. Go higher frequency or lower frequency. You can apply a hold to your ARP. And you can even control what the insert is. If it's a low insert, high insert, 3-1, or 4-2. So if you want to turn it off, you can turn it off. And then we'll go down into the voc loader, which you can enable it here. And basically this is it's a vocoder, and uses a couple of different oscillators. It's got 4 oscillators that are applied to 4 different DV512 vocoders. And the vocoders, this whole vocaloader system spans 2 different combinators. So you can enable it here, then you can control your oscillators, which are your modulations for your vocoders. And you can play around with all the different vocoder parameters here. So you can just basically have at your sound. You can apply a hold to the vocoders, change the shift on all the different 4 vocoders. And you can even have a long decay or a short decay. And you can turn it on or off just by using this this little button here. And just to note, in all my systems you'll see these arrows. The arrows basically point in the direction of turning on a specific unit or turning off a unit, so you can enable something or disable it. So basically that's the way that works. So that's the voc loader. And then onward we move to the Dr. Destructo. And if you want to enable it, this is a destruction unit. It's a mangler. Let's just turn on that ARP. So let's enable it. And it's going to basically play around with your, it uses a scream unit kind of as a glitchy kind of effect. So you can randomize, make it a little more crazy. You can make it less crazy. If you turn the cut on, you can basically apply a low cut or a high cut, which is the EQ cut on the screen devices. You can change your damage type here. You can have different modulations. And basically you're just going to have to play around with this one and see what the effect is, what kind of effect you like. It just takes some getting used to. Of course, don't touch this knob, otherwise, everything just explodes. No, it actually doesn't, but it doesn't really do much of anything on this knob. So there, you can enable that or disable that. And then moving on, we have another filter which comes in after this destruction unit. So after the destruction unit, you can basically maybe put a low pass filter on there. Put a high pass state variable filter. The state variable filter is always set to high pass, just because I think that gives it a nice variation between the other filters. You can add a delay on there. The only difference, this filter is exactly the same as the previous one, except that it's just where it comes in with the signal is after the voc loader. It comes down and then goes through the voc loader and the Dr. Destructo, and then you get into the filter 2 here. So it's just where it comes in the signal path. And then once you have that going on, I'll just bypass this for now. Once you can go there, then you can go down underneath here and you can enable the multi-fillets effects. And I'll explain this in part 2 of this tutorial, and we'll kind of go over that.